I remember once I was working with a young lad, and I took a job in a football team. I'd been out of the game for a few years. I'd gone off and done my own thing in various other industries, and decided I wanted to go back in. But I wanted to take a job that was quite low key to re-establish myself as a performance coach. So I took a job with a team not far away from me, actually, in youth level, so I could carry on doing my other projects anyway. So I thought I'll keep a low key here. And there was a lad who had a lot of talent. He was based in London, but he had a history of a lot of issues. He'd been literally thrown out of every club he was at for his behavioural problems. So I said, well, as a last chance, could you take him on? Because you've dealt with people for a long time with behavioural issues. So I said, fine, I'll not a problem, we'll take him on. So we gave him a chance. And it was interesting, really, because I sat down with him because he was starting to irritate a lot of people at the club where we were at and causing a few issues here and the other. So I said, I felt an obligation to a certain extent because I said we should take him on board to see if I could achieve something. So I sat him down and said, what exactly do you want? What do you want? And he goes, well, I want to play at the very highest level. So I did this process without a formal process, but in conversation. So what do you want? What would the highest level be for you? He goes, I want to play Champions League. I want to play international football. And this was League 2, youth team, very League 2 youth team. Someone comes along and says to you, and the comparison is if someone walked into, I don't know, IBM as the administration officer and says, I want to run this company. Possible, but you think, well, actually, you're going to have a bit of apprehension. So I thought, this guy wants to play. And at that point there, I was ready to say, look, do you not think it's important to get your head down here first? But I thought, I'm going to run with it and see where it takes me. And I said, well, what do you think you need to do that? What can you do? He goes, I can train hard, stay out of trouble, get on with things. And I said, right, okay, but what do you need to do before you do that? Because I've got to get myself in the first team, then play for other teams and everything else. And he said, well, I want to, get in the first team, get a bigger transfer, play Premiership football. And he sort of talked about what he wanted to do. And at that point there, I thought, there's a 16-year-old lad who has got a history of all these different issues in a League 2 team. Do I give him a reality check, or do I just let him go on with it, really? If I give him a reality check, I'm working from my own mindset. Because I honestly and openly, at that point, think, as much as I believe all things are possible, the time frame he was talking about, in all honesty and openness, I thought, well, it's a bit of a stretch. And as I said, use the analogy, it's like someone going into IBM as, working on the front desk and then a runner in 3-4 years. It's a bit of, I would think anyway. And then I said, well, ecology. I said, well, if you did that, what would the impact be? He goes, I could, sort my family out with some money. I'd enjoy it. It's what I really love to do. I'd set myself for life, and I'd be doing what I want to do. And I said, well, what can you do? What resources have you got? Well, he said, I'm fast, I'm strong, I've got good left foot, good right foot, powerful, good player. If I put my head down, I can do anything I want. I said, well, you probably can. It might be an idea to put your head down. And it's ironic, really, because on his journey, in that discussion, whether that was going through his mind, or whether through that facilitation, something sparked. For the rest of his time in that scholarship, we had our moments, don't get me wrong, yet it was interesting, really, because 3 years later, I was doing a seminar in Australia to a group of young hopefuls in sport, and without thinking about it, there was a guy that came to the UK to train with me, who was in the audience, who came to the seminar, and he said to me, he came across this guy, and he goes, Colin's playing tonight. I said, what? Who's playing tonight? He goes, Colin, the guy I work with. I said, who's he playing for? He goes, because the time difference. He goes, yeah. He goes, 4 in the morning. It's on whatever TV station. Chelsea are playing Fenerbahce. I said, gee, he's true. It dawned on me that he was playing Fenerbahce in the Champions League. So I said to the rest of the group, I said actually, to give you an idea of how powerful some of this stuff is, if you get a chance to switch on the TV at 4 in the morning and watch the game, and you see Colin Kazimierz play football, and he was a lad, Nathan says played for us, he got back on track, and the irony was he played and he scored the winning goal. They actually beat Chelsea, and it was funny really, because then we went to the European Cup a year later, and I was doing a little bit of work out there, consultancy work. Later, I thought, as I'm driving into this, I was doing broadcasting, I thought, goodness sake, he's playing international football. He was playing for Turkey. He did not play for Turkey because he didn't get the call from England. His mum was saying he was actually playing international football. So it dawned me at that point there. I thought everything he said he was going to do, he went on to do. And it's kind of such a powerful process when you formalise it, and you go for it. Really, it really is a powerful process.